You ever get that feeling that humanity is just working against itself? Like we have all these amazing projects, all these brilliant people, but everyone's pulling in a different direction? Well, today we're going to dive into a pretty radical idea for a shift in how we organize, well, everything. It's about moving from a world of separate, isolated boxes to one of deep, interconnected synergy. And this isn't just some pie-in-the-sky theory. It's a practical blueprint for a much more coherent future.
If you look around, our world pretty much runs on this box model. Everything is in its own silo. Our efforts are fragmented, often driven by tribalism, egotism, and just plain short-term thinking. And this leads to a huge amount of duplicated work, wasted resources. It leaves even our best efforts way less effective than they could be.
So that brings us to the big question, doesn't it? What if this whole fragmented approach isn't the only way to do things? What if we could actually design our future around a totally different set of principles? Principles built on connection and real cooperation.
Okay, so before we explore that new way forward, let's get really clear on the actual cost of the way we're doing things now. Because this disconnection, it has some profound consequences that are getting harder and harder to ignore. The sources we're looking at describe our current situation as a polycrisis. It's a fancy term, but it basically means it's not just one single problem we're facing. It's this whole cascade of interconnected challenges. Climate destabilization, the loss of biodiversity, social friction, they're all just symptoms of a system that is fundamentally out of sync with reality, a system that rewards taking things out over putting things back. And this image, wow, it illustrates the two paths ahead perfectly. Over on the left, you've got that world of boxes we were just talking about. But on the right, you see a completely different model, a world of symbiosis, one that's actually rooted in conscious collaboration. It's a fundamental shift from competition to cooperation, from extraction to nurturing. Let's dig into what that really means, though. The world of boxes runs on tribalism and egotism, which just naturally fuels endless consumption. The world of symbiosis, on the other hand, is built on conscious collaboration. And look, this isn't just about being nice to each other. It's about a deep, practical recognition that our own survival is completely 100% tied to the health of the entire living system that we're a part of. So how in the world do we make a jump like that? The sources propose that we need a whole new kind of infrastructure, and not just physical stuff like roads and bridges, but social and digital infrastructure too, something designed specifically to help us live in this more symbiotic way. And this is where the Phoenix platform comes into the picture. It's described not as just another app or website, but as a new operating system for humanity. Okay, think of it like this. It's not like adding an app to your phone. It's like replacing your phone's entire operating system. It changes how everything fundamentally works together. It's a foundational layer designed to make all of our collective efforts make sense, to make them reinforce each other. And this quote just nails it. The future isn't going to be won by a few pockets of isolated excellence here and there. No, the real game changer is what's called synergistic coherence. That's the art of weaving all those brilliant but separate efforts together into something way, way more powerful than the sum of its parts. So, how do you achieve that kind of coherence on a global scale? That's the big question, right? Well, the Phoenix platform proposes a kind of core intelligence, a brain, to do the heavy lifting. And it's called the Synergy Engine. At its heart, the Synergy Engine is basically an AI-powered coordination system. The source material calls it an intelligent relational weaving system, which is a mouthful, but its job is to actively find the hidden connections between people, projects, and resources. For example, imagine two totally separate ocean cleanup groups. The engine could instantly connect them to a single research team that just got new data on plastic currents. Boom. All of a sudden, both of their efforts become way more efficient and impactful. So what does it actually do? Well, picture a system that can see the whole playing field at once. It spots when two groups are accidentally doing the same thing, so we can stop reinventing the wheel. It acts like a master matchmaker for organizations with similar goals. It shines a light on hidden opportunities for collaboration we would have missed, and by making everything transparent, it builds trust. The bottom line? We could achieve so much more with so much less waste. I think the best metaphor for it is a planetary nervous system. It takes all those scattered bits of intelligence, all that amazing effort happening all over the world, and it transforms it all into coordinated, intentional, and, well, regenerative action. Of course, a completely new operating system like this can't run on our old, outdated economic software. It demands a fundamental shift in how we think about everything from value and profit to growth itself. So here's the difference.
Extractive economics is a straight line. Take, make, waste. It's all about short-term profit and it externalizes costs, which is just a business term for ignoring the real-world damage like pollution or habitat loss. Regenerative economics, on the other hand, is a circle. It understands that true wealth depends on the health of the planet. It's about creating value by restoring our world, not by taking from it. So, where does the money go in this new model? It flows toward things that actually build long-term health. But here's the really genius part. This isn't just about good intentions. It's about tying investment to measurable, real-world outcomes. So you don't just fund a project, you fund the successful restoration of a wetland. You fund a measurable drop in atmospheric carbon. Suddenly, the profit motive itself is aligned with healing the planet.
The ultimate goal here is to make profit and planetary well-being the same thing. And this is not about sacrificing prosperity. It's about fundamentally redefining it. It's about building our cities and our entire economy to thrive with nature, not by consuming it. It's about making regeneration the most profitable and logical choice there is.
At the end of the day, all of this, it really just boils down to a choice. A profound and incredibly urgent choice about the kind of future we actually want to build. And this image just says it all, doesn't it? We are standing at a crossroads. The path of fragmentation and extraction, the one we're on now, it leads to a pretty desolate place. But there is another path, one of collaboration, of synergy, and of regeneration. And so the sources leave us with this really powerful question. Are we going to keep building these boxes, operating in our own little silos, competing for resources until there's nothing left? Or are we finally going to choose to step into the garden, to work together and co-create a future where both humanity and the Earth can finally truly thrive?